This is the Elite 2.0 Nerf gun. It's pretty good. It shoots pretty accurate. It's got a good sized mag that apparently falls out. Comes off into 3 pieces. Okay. Like that. This one's got so much unique character to it. Just got a lot of little design bits and pieces and parts. You can see there's a lot I can play with on this color-wise. So there's some maybe going black, like black and silver, with kind of like a brushed silver look. Maybe a flashlight and laser. Maybe a new scope, a laser scope or something. We'll see. But there you go. Let's see what I can come up with. So step number 1, what I did was I pretty much primed all the parts. So I colored everything. I'm going to go ahead and just go over it with some... I really liked how the Plasti Dip looked. It was kind of this rubbery matte finish, and I liked how that looks. I think if I do Plasti Dip on all this, and then I'll go over some of the parts with silver. So let's see how it goes. All right, next step was to put some of that Plasti Dip actually on here. So I kind of softened it up a little bit. I still got some of the blues and oranges coming through, but I think if I do this right, I think I can make it look pretty cool. So there it is with the Plasti Dip. So I'll let it dry just a little bit longer so it can kind of adhere better. You can see some of the orange kind of came through. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it. It's kind of cool. Yep. So, got everything taped for painting. So because I didn't end up having to go over the Plasti Dip with a sealant, because the Plasti Dip was actually coming off on my hands. So whenever I'd hold on to the grip, it would actually come off on the front. So I ended up kind of recovering it with a little bit of Plasti Dip, and then actually went over it with a clear coat. I tend to go a little overboard with the tape, but I prefer it to be, I'm a little OCD like that. So but I'll tell you what, the time that you take to tape really does account for a really great paint job. So I do suggest taking your time, put in a movie, do your tape, do it correctly, and before you spray paint. So it's gonna look kind of, so just these little details are gonna make the difference, and it's gonna look a lot better than painting with a brush, because I have a really great silver that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna do that with all the parts and take off the tape. So there's the silver and black. The only damage was this little piece on the mag. It's a little glossier than I was expecting, the black, because I put that clear coat over it to protect the Plasti Dip. So yeah, it did its job, but it's kind of glossy and weird. I don't know. I mean, it still looks kind of cool. The silver and black has a good accent to each other. You can see it more or less. So overall, I'm happy. I just have to go over it now and do some more coloring. putting another protectant spray on the gun. So I'm letting that dry. Foregrip. So I'll put this on the front. I got it from Amazon, pretty cheap. This strap again was relatively cheap on Amazon. And then I got two mounts, little strap mounts. So I got two of them. I'm not sure where I'll put them yet. The gun itself actually has slides on it, but they're not the right size slides. So when you put this actually on the gun, it comes off. It's just a plastic. I'm not expecting a Nerf gun to have accurate slides. So I do have new slides that these can go on. And again, you can buy these pretty cheap on Amazon. They're standard little food's done plastic. So I'll probably drill these either over the slides that are already on the Nerf gun, or maybe put them in different locations. I haven't really quite decided yet. So once I figure that out, I'll drill new holes, put the slides on, and then put on my accessories. I did buy a flashlight. So this guy's pretty standard flashlight mount that will go on a slide as well in the front. At least that's the goal. It's a pretty good flashlight. It's a pretty cheap flashlight actually. This didn't cost much. It's some company I mean, I've never heard of LEGO before, but hey, it makes things brighter and it's cheap. So, and it's a Nerf gun. Also a cheap buy. You know, you tell yourself you're gonna buy a nice items for a gun, but again, it's a Nerf gun, so I'm not gonna go spend a lot of money. This is a sight, just a little laser sight. Oops. Well, anyways, it's got green and red. There's red. And it's also got options for brightness. I've already adjusted it so it works with the gun. So this will go on the top of the rifle. I mean, for being again, it's a company, you know, off-brand company. It's Rubizro. I don't know. Again, another company I've never heard of. But the only other thing I bought is this. Is this Cool Cat? That's right. I just said Cool Cat. I will give you forewarning when you buy this kind of stuff. Be very careful with it. It's something that is relatively controlled to a point. You don't want to be going out buying lasers that are really strong without understanding laws. So you don't buy a laser and shine it at things. You know, so if you're wanting to buy a bright green laser like this, especially for, say, cosplay use, or for, you know, like me, I'm using this for a stupid hobby, right? You just don't want to get in trouble. God forbid you accidentally shine this into the sky and hit a plane. Guess what? You're gonna have people showing up at your door pretty quick, because trust me, they know where it came from. So be very careful with green lasers, because it's very bright, it's very powerful, but they do look super rad. So so this is also going to go on the rifle on the opposite side. So again, this wasn't too expensive. It's kind of a fun buy. If I put it on, I'll probably end up taking it off, putting it on something else later. But I think just for what it is right now, I think it's a pretty neat little buy and pretty neat little purchase. But again, just be cautious when you buy these. So I'm going to wait for all that to dry, and then once that dries, I will start to assemble. Avengers! Gonna assemble the gun.